don't have fun things to go with here. Hi, everyone. I hear we're live.
We're live.
We're live. Cool. So I'll just ignore whatever's going on that side of my apartment for the next couple hours, just like you guys should, because we're here to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Wait, really?
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have told you that ahead of time. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons, Abby.
Okay. I'll get ready.
You're gonna make a character right now.
All right.
Oh no.
Well, I'm a little punchy today. We're gonna have some fun with it. But YouTube land, welcome back to Cordially Invited, where you're cordially invited to join us as our three heroes attempt to do the most dangerous thing of all: get a royal wedding to go off without a hitch. Or maybe not, because there's all the chaos and the birds. So, who knows? Whatever way it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I am going to give Scott some tech time.
Tech Talks.
Here to TikTok. I'm gonna say TikTok eventually. To ask y'all in chat and do some tech functions. I don't know.
Thank you. We are, because this is only the second episode of Cordially Invited, we are still making changes to some of the audio, some of the video, the kind of live layout, swooshy things, like when we go swoosh and move things around and different things like that. So we would all of us, I think, would appreciate if you have any feedback for, someone is too quiet, someone is too loud. Feel free to throw that right in the chat. We will be monitoring that both live and after the session tonight. And we'll continue to improve the stream as time goes on. So if you've got any suggestions or things that you've noticed acts a little bit weird for you or sounds a little bit weird, please let us know and throw it in the chat. Appreciate it a lot.
Absolutely. I'm horrible and I still don't have chat open because I'm afraid to open another YouTube tab and suddenly everything goes wrong. So should something happen in chat, let me know.
But the rest of us are monitoring chat.
Yeah, you guys, great too. Totally fine. I will get distracted because my ADHD will not allow me to do anything else. It'll be bad. This is a slightly sad way to start. We're gonna pick something else. I just had it going.
See, it's the second episode, still working out the bumps here. Sad music for the wedding. I noticed, I think I'm the only person here who's actually, playing the wedding of the group of us. So I can admit the sad music is not what you want.
No, it's a real time and a half.
You said that so dramatically. I'm like, I need to ask you questions, I feel like. Please explain.
A little bit more fun medieval music.
Perfect.
That's
all right. Now that I have correctly pulled up the right playlist, I have too many. Again, very distracted. So I'm assuming you all remember what happened last time, but our audience might not. I'm not going to pop quiz you. In other games, I absolutely pick someone, and I'm like, okay, why don't you tell us what happened last time? And it puts them on the spot. I'm not going to do that to you. So, last time, we got to meet our three heroes in the realm of Silvar. A rather interesting group of people here. The party has all been invited by Lord Havertus Nolan as entertainment and sort of kind of assistance, so to speak, to help him in this royal wedding between the Prince of Silvar and the Princess of Lys, who are coming together, maybe happily, you don't know yet. We have Preem, our Dragonborn Weaver, ? Hype man, !
Yeah.
We have Dove, whatever stage name they're going by right now, our bird wrangler extraordinaire, and we have the multitudes of Mannequin. We're not sure. There's whole host of multiple.
So far, Mannequin and Neverson.
Neverson, Mannequin, to be continued and added onto that list. I will have a bulleted list. I have a specific section of my notes that are just all of your identities. And they got to meet the other entertainers who had been hired to help in the wedding. Eravin, the painter and illusionist, Sabrina the acrobat, and the brothers Granite Breaker, who are sculptors of some sort. After introductions were made, the party was ushered to welcome the Princess of Lys and her retinue to the palace. Unfortunately, the first meeting of the intendeds went a little awry when a hag and some of her minions interrupted the event with some ooze and violence. After dispatching the hag and her little ooze boys, the party was thanked heartily by Prince Varen, who invited them to have seats of honor at the feast this evening in celebration. Lord Nolan has promised to show you to quarters where you can prepare and rest after your exciting start. And that is where we find you guys, in the palace. The royal groups have departed to be shown their own quarters. Lord Nolan has kind of led you back inside, and he's going to be leading you off to a smaller wing where your quarters will be, kind of beyond the receiving room that you initially came into. Is there anything anyone would like to do before we reach quarters?
Where is the hag's body being taken?
You would have seen as, like, the royal group went off, a couple guards have, like, shuffled out, and a few of them were, like, poking at it just to make sure. It's starting to, like, melt. There's, like, a lot more going on. This isn't just a body anymore. It's, like, doing some things as it decomposes way quicker than you expected it to happen. So that's happening. But yeah, the guards are kind of, like, circling it up, they're, like, chatting about how to figure out moving it.
Go ahead.
Did we search the body?
You have not.
I mean, might as well.
Yeah,
Cream will join you over there.
Okay, yeah. The guards who are, like, they know you guys, like, helped with this. They're kind of looking over at you and being like, yeah. Yes. May we help you?
As it come over, is going to look down at the melting body, and was this creature something you've seen here before?
Like, I read stories about them once. We don't usually get a lot of fae nonsense out here. Like, and he's, like, looking around at some of the other guards who are like, we don't know, what are you doing? Like, one of them has gotten his cloak out over the hag.
Turns to look at his ranger companion. They are as bland of mind as their outfits are. We should investigate.
I heard that.
Your ears are good, then.
My ears are good. My mind is bland.
Don't take it personally. He's just like that.
Do take it personally.
The guards are very confused now. I don't know whether to be offended.
Maddie just, like, pats him on the shoulder and walks off.
Okay.
Dove is gonna take her glaive and start, like, poking around at the now gooping and try to, like, push and see if there's anything in this pile that looks useful. Maybe pick up, like, a piece and, like, move it to the side.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Do you want to look through this part, Remek?
If you bring it over here, where it won't touch my cloak, yes, then I will take a look.
All right. Can we do a tag team kind of thing going on here?
Okay, this is gonna depend, because I need to ask some clarifying questions. So, Bird is attempting to, like, lift things and, like, bring them over to Priam?
I'm doing the organization section, like, pushing things aside into sections, so then he's able to, like, see things
without getting all the
Easily.
goop all over me.
All right,
Yeah,
so you're just
yeah.
like taking whatever you find that's removable and like putting them in a pile. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I was gonna make Preem do a dex saving throw to keep
Oh.
things off of his cloak, but he's just standing back. That's totally fine. Yeah, absolutely. You can
How
do that.
dare you?
Sorry. Sorry. Bird, go ahead and give me an investigation check to see what you find on this.
Okay. Oop. Oh, it did such a stupid little roll, and then I got nothing. All right.
Yeah, you just start
that's
like
just a point.
rummaging, and the guards are like looking at you, and the one you spoke to is like, "Do you need a little help there? What are you doing?"
Oh, well, my friend was going to do the. No, I'm just organizing it. I'm perfectly fine here, thank you.
I see that. Do you want some help? Like, I can assist. He's like holding up his hands that have big leather gloves on them. Palace issue. I can get new ones. Can help you out.
Sure. Why don't we have them join us?
If my mind's not too bland for you.
You may do your job.
This isn't I'm a guard. This isn't my job. I offered. I'm being nice. Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation again, this time with advantage. He's gonna help.
Oh, no.
Like, his job is to be helpful. I don't like to put to a whole thing.
18.
Hey, better.
18! So much
Yeah.
better. Like, he's lifting a bunch of the gross stuff and just kind of like shoving it off so that you can get into some little pockets and things. Go ahead and roll me a D100 twice.
Ooh.
Oh,
All right.
wow. Is this because like DMs we never roll D100s, and so you're like, I gotta pack in a bunch right now?
No.
Yeah.
So I have years-long lists of magic items for various creatures like that have just happened, and I have things for hags, and there are some story ones too, because I figured you guys would. Okay, 47 and 80. Let me scroll down.
I'm excited.
You find gotta scroll. In one of her like pockets was like this leather satchel. When you open it up, it is like this decorative wine glass that has like carvings and like little runes in it. And that's one thing you find. The other thing you find is a surprisingly clean, like, it looks like it's wrapped in beeswax, little thing of candies that are just like, they look super clean. Like, the beeswax is kind of gross on the outside, but inside looks like some fun candies.
Definitely want to keep those for eating.
For children.
The last thing you find, because you rolled an 18, is like under a few layers that like the guard has helpfully like lifted for you is like a little shard of a mirror that looks like it's been rounded and like it's old, so it's not sharp anymore, but it looks like it's a piece of a mirror, almost like half of one that would have been in a handheld mirror.
Right.
And that's what you find. I mean, like, she's wearing clothes, but I'm assuming you don't want
Take her clothes off or something? Or no, it's just a cloak.
We ripped the cloak off of her. You did not get the hag to
I don't know if she's stripped or not.
She didn't strip for you. You did
No, what?
Stripped and candy.
I thought this was a party.
Where did we find the candy then? What? I'm so confused.
This has evolved. I wish it was.
Wait, it's in a container, right? Tell me it's in a container.
Wait. Where?
Are the candies in a container? Yes, it's in a
Which pocket?
wrapper.
Which
Which pocket are the candies in?
Yeah, where was it?
She like wore a cloak, but she has like a doublet on that's like belted around her waist. It was on the belt. Where else would you have expected this to be? What's happening? copyrighted, but I would have put on the bardcore version of Somebody Come Get Her. She's dancing. We're gonna get age restricted. Let's go. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Talk about a way to derail a wedding.
The naked egg. Oh man. I object.
Free spirit. Don't shame her.
With candy in a broken mirror.
Don't forget the wine.
What the God?
I mean, she was coming to a wedding. She knew how to party. We just killed the buzz for tonight.
So, she was planning on passing out those candies to everybody. We were gonna have a party.
Oh.
If you want to have a party with the candy and the wine glass, you're welcome to. Just jump in with them.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness. I just had an ab workout.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So you have candies, a wine glass, and a piece of a mirror. The guard is getting tired of helping you here. Anything else you'd like to do?
Well, if these were on a hag, they must be significant in some way. Do you know y'all magic, right? Do you know how to decide how magical these are?
Who are you asking?
Premac. I don't know.
Okay.
He did his
well.
thing with the weave, so it seems like magic.
Most of my magic is it's my partner who handles most of the magic. But
Oh.
I could certainly take a look at it. I've picked up a few.
Bring it here. I have a spell that can tell a bit.
Oh. All right. Well.
I don't know how to exactly translate. I'm a fighter, but I have high intelligence. So.
Yeah. I mean, she's just like, yeah, sure, right. This person said something.
Mannequin will ritual cast detect magic on them.
Cool.
Or
yeah.
actually, she'll probably. No, she'll. Will we have a break before the rest?
Yeah, you're gonna have a couple hours that I'm gonna treat as a long rest, depending on what you want to do in that time. But yeah, you'll have a chance to rest before the feast.
Then she'll just very dramatically cast it normally.
Cool.
Oh.
How do you dramatically cast detect magic?
Just like really over the top hand flourishes, just completely unnecessary, have nothing to do with actual casting, just like, wow, you know?
Absolutely. You like start casting, and like the guard that had like followed you with some of the stuff helping Bert, if it's like steps back, he's like, oh, okay, big time magic. He's very impressed by this. And you ritually cast detect magic, and
Or just normally cast.
or just normally cast detect magic. And the wine glass is definitely magic. The mirror has some faint magic on it, and the candies, a couple of them are magic. Not all of them, but a couple of them.
Well, first off, do I get the schools of magic that the wine glass and actually any of it, all of it?
Yes, you do. I'm pulling up my other note sheet for those items.
In the meantime, I'm gonna while detect magic is running, I'm gonna pick through the candy bag and try to pull out the magic ones.
Absolutely.
Those good ones
you
for
can
eating.
pick out the magic candy.
Wouldn't recommend it until we have a bit more information. Actually, wouldn't recommend eating any of them until we get a bit more information on what's in them. But these ones are definitely magic.
Ooh. Fun.
The candies seem to be an assortment of schools of magic. There's like half of them are transmutation magic, and a couple of them are abjuration and evocation. There's about 7 of them that are magic, and there are about 5 of them that aren't. The wine glass is conjuration magic, and the mirror is evocation.
Okay.
Should have been prepared for this question. I knew you had detect magic.
Well, I will relay that to the group. Afraid I can't tell much more than that. With just a cursory look like this. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend messing with them for the time being. I'll hold on to these candies that I have separated, and I'll hand you back the other bag and the other magic items.
All right. So these are also magic, and they are good magic?
Well, I mean, it's any kind of magic has the capacity to be good or bad depending on the spell. So I don't know. But the wine glass is probably for summoning things or creating things. And the mirror could be for exploding things. Or possibly something else, I don't really know.
I look at myself in the mirror. Do I look like fire? Or is it just normal?
Okay, are you just looking? Or are
Yeah,
you
just
going
looking.
to try and use like some of the faint magic?
I'm just looking at myself, seeing if I look different. Or checking my hair as well. Just, I mean, we just got in a fight.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. Seven.
7. Yeah, with a 7,
Solid.
you can see yourself. Like, it's a kind of
Oh,
weird
good.
sized piece of mirror. So like, you
I'm
see
not a
yourself,
vampire yet.
but like as you're like looking at yourself, the bird on your shoulder like pokes its head forward and gets in the main view of the mirror and just starts pecking it.
Down.
You don't see anything else.
All right. That's Tostito. Gets a little angry sometimes when I don't.
Did you say Tostito?
Yeah, I said Tostito.
Tostito.
No, Tostito. Like,
Tostito.
I probably. It's a chip brand.
Yeah.
I was about to say, is that we're not sponsored.
No, maybe I'll do Postito then.
Tostito. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Now I have to.
It was the
write down
first
the
word that
bird
popped into my head for
name.
some reason.
Oh. I'm gonna call it potato at some point. I'm sorry.
That's another bird.
It's a different one.
Don't
There's
get
so
all
many
named after.
confused, Jackie.
Yeah. They're all named after different types of potatoes and chips.
Potato products.
Yeah.
Potato was the original.
Yes.
I love it. Okay, deep lore. We're getting there. All right.
All right, let's keep going.
Lord Nolan is like waiting at the top of the stairs for you, with the other entertainers who are like, so they're like calming down after this excitement. The Granite Breaker brothers are like mumbling them to themselves as they are wont to do. Sabrina's kind of like arms crossed, waiting, and Raven is just like hanging out in the back. He's not really standing with the whole group. He just knows he's supposed to be somewhere, and yeah.
Can you
And
please
Lord Nolan,
remind?
like, enters you.
Sorry. Can you please remind us? So Lord Nolan, we know who that is. He's organizing. There's Prince Varen.
Prince Varen.
And
He's
Prince-
gone. Like the Prince
yeah.
of Silvar and the Princess and the Royals, they've like moved on. Prince
What's the
Varen is the
Princess's name again?
Princess Ariella.
Ariella, thank you.
Ariella.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is
And then
the
other?
lady's name? The queen? Or
Which one? There are 2 queens.
oh, there's 2 queens.
Ariella's mother came with her. She was on a horse with her, and the Queen of Silvar and the King were also in the receiving line. So there's 2 queens.
Well, since that was new knowledge, what are both of their names?
You would know that the Queen of Silvar is Rena,
Rena.
and the Queen of Lys is Thalia.
Thank you.
Well, I imagine the two of you have much work that you would like to prepare for, is there anything that you need of Primac to assist you this afternoon?
Anything you want to offer is certainly be welcome.
Yes, I mean, if you want to spice up our outfits like you did earlier, I mean, I could tell you what my set is going to be, and
Same.
This I can probably accomplish. Give me a list of colors, textures, scope of the project that you are working with, the stage. I can probably arrange something.
oh,
Well, I think it will be at the banquet, so maybe something that's a little mobile, kind of
yes, I need something.
self-contained.
Yes, need that as well.
So less stage, more just person.
Excellent. Yes, I can do this.
In my performance, I do a lot of grand gestures and movements, and I don't want to get caught up on. I kind of just gesture to his outfit that is draping everywhere on things, you know?
Right. So, okay. Yes. Less is
Maybe
more.
military style, something like that. I want to do something a little fun.
Okay. Primac will be furiously. You won't see it because his hands will be inside his cloak, but he'll be furiously writing down some notes for just like things to maybe assist with in their preparations later on.
I love the image of Primac just, but like layers
Down it all.
The hood, the hood. Well, the hood's half covering his face all the time, anyways. And it's just you see all this movement underneath the cloak.
Just lowers.
Lord Nolan has kind of ushered you to be having this conversation as you walk. He is leading you through. We don't need. That was a perfectly timed music change, and it didn't go to the one that I wanted, which is awesome. But Lord Nolan, he is like a little frazzled. He looks like he has aged a couple years just in terms of this welcome not going the way that it was supposed to. It was supposed to be 5 minutes and over, and it wasn't. He's already stressing out about it. And the rest of the group is following along. This is sort of like back in a smaller section of the palace. You're like still in these grand halls, but it's kind of back in what you assume to be like a servant's wing. And he leads you to large double doors that he opens with a key and ushers you all in. And I can show you what this room looks like in Owlbear Rodeo.
Visuals.
I made your little room.
Thank you.
A generous DM.
I am so generous. It opens up into this like common space. The quarters are mainly this small common space with rooms attached. Clearly, this has been kind of emptied for you. It looks a little sparse right now, but they've tried to include some stuff. There are 7 doors that are attached to this like little seating area. There's some cushions and tables and some bookshelves. There's some tapestries on the wall. And Lord Nolan kind of gestures out and he says, rooms for each of you. Granite Breaker, I thought you would room together. That's fine, so apologies. But you can select the room that you want. There's nothing. I didn't pick them out for you. I figured you're all adults and you can figure it out. There's a little bit of dried food and goods on some of the tables. You'll be sharing these rooms when we're here at the palace. When we're not at the palace, you'll have tents. Feel free to be here. Sit, relax. Very exciting morning. We've got a couple hours before the feast. Should you need anything, I will be in my solar. It's down the hall, straight. And yeah, anything. I don't feel like I need to explain anything more to you.
In fact, I would ask if perhaps I might get access to. I'm looking for a guest list, essentially. I have some ideas for preparing some, perhaps, table favors for your guests that I think the bride and the groom would be very agreeable to. Perhaps even if you had the RSVP lists, I might I might be able to personalize some of the invitations and the gifts that I give.
Yes, we don't have the full RSVP list for the wedding. It's a couple. Honestly, we got to get through all the other things first. But I can give you the list for who's going to be at the feast tonight, and I'll work on the RSVP list for you. Not everyone's here yet, unfortunately, which is annoying. But I'll get there. I'll give you the list for tonight. Come see me in the morning. I'll get you the other one. I have to go check the...
Disappointing, but I suppose you've been busy.
Yes.
I'll join you shortly.
Yes. Scott, I'm just going to send you that guest list unless you would like me to read it off.
No, that's fine. Sending would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, he like checks his pockets, pulls out like a wad of paper that has clearly, it wasn't supposed to be crumpled and now it's crumpled, and he's just like smooths it out a little bit, rolls it up and hands it to you.
Into the cloak.
He like looks at the hesitance in which you reached out and he was like, I'll wear the pants later. Okay, fine. He just like turns and leaves.
Oh, wait.
Oh, yes. Dove.
Not duck. Definitely not duck. I had nothing against the birds, but they're just not as elegant as I think the others. Anyway. Do you have any birdseed?
We can get you some from the kitchens. Yes.
Good. Some seeds, and maybe a trough, I think. Yes, unless you want them doing their business all over the floor, I can
they control?
keep them.
I thought birds couldn't control where they shit.
Well, I've been trying to train them to go in specific places that I put a rock that they know is the poop rock. And so I put the poop rock in the trough, and then they should know to go there.
He's looking at you like, the words poop rock were just spoken to me.
I mean, when you are in a small caravan with a lot of birds, you try to...
Yeah, yes. I'm just gonna say yes to this. I'll get you a trough, and you are going to provide the poop rock?
I do have the poop rock, yes.
Okay.
And then if I could speak to your florist later, that would be nice as well.
Florist?
Yes.
Yes. I'm sure she's quite busy right now, but we'll see her in the morning before everything happens.
Lovely.
I'm gonna also suggest that you all get to have a bag ready. We will probably be taking excursions outside of the palace, just so you're aware. He looks at Mannequin and just kind of raises his eyebrows like, are you going to talk about a poop rock to me too?
She'll see him look at her and go, oh, Lord Nolan! You're doing a great job. And then she'll walk off.
You say this one bit of praise and he just goes, and leaves. He's out.
He needed that.
And you all are here with the rest of the entertainers.
I should have asked him what room is the biggest.
Oh, I mean, like, it's just the room. You can look, like, the others, the Granite Breakers are just kind of, like, looking around. Where, who, what.
Why?
I know, I'm looking at all the Owlbear tokens, like, oh god, who did I use for what?
No one will remember. It's not on the internet or anything.
Yeah.
Preem will start.
No one remembers anything.
Preem will start wandering around to the different kind of tapestries and paintings and stuff on the walls, just kind of inspecting, judging, mostly kind of looking at them, and will eventually make his way around the room to Mannequin. I keep feeling like maybe I'm using the wrong name because I know you, but it is Mannequin, right? That's
right now it is Mannequin. Yep,
right,
that's what she has introduced
herself
as. She after Lord Nolan leaves, she's gonna grab like some fruit or something from the table and then walk over to the lounge in the bottom right corner
Mm-hmm.
and just like splay across it really dramatically.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Primo
I've placed
eventually,
tokens on the map.
On the thing.
Yes. Feel free to move your tokens as you see fit.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Primo will eventually make his way over to you as he's, examining these different things, and just kind of look over at you, kind of quizzically at one point, and
Yes.
why did you feel the need to lie to Nolan? He is not doing a good job.
I thought he could use the boost.
Yes. Boost.
Take a note of that.
I see.
Perhaps, are you thinking of taking that literally with some taller heels for him?
That is exactly what I was thinking of.
I
Yes.
think that would be a great look on him.
He does seem a little underprepared for the tasks at hand, I suppose.
Yes, although I suppose everyone is always a little underprepared for weddings. Especially royal ones, you know?
Have you been to many royal weddings before, Mannequin?
Oh, no. Just, royal weddings or... I've been to other weddings, and, well, people are underprepared for those. So a royal wedding is so much bigger and grander. Only makes sense.
I see. I have nothing else to say. It was nice talking to you. And he'll just walk away. unless you saw them.
Do you want to discuss possibilities for my performance?
Yes, that would be very satisfactory.
Mana's gonna keep a close eye on Bird and where she's at in the room and ensure that she's out of earshot as she describes her performance to Preem and what she's gonna do and try to figure out some like drapery or stringers around or like silks or ribbons around her swords and stuff like that for her performance.
Absolutely.
At various points, Preem just starts all of a sudden, like, he'll be like kind of gesturing with how he might like do something with it, and like his tail will suddenly come out from inside his clothing, holding like a long spool of something, and just start pulling it out, kind of thing, kind of like you're, I don't know, like a magician pulling something out, just these spools of clothing and ribbons and material come pouring out as he shows different things. Now stuffs it back in, pulling out different colors and materials, getting your approval on what you think would work.
Yeah.
Excellent. I can prepare this.
Lovely.
You are speaking in rather hushed tones. Do you wish to keep your performance secret?
Well, I don't want to give it away before the big moment.
Even to these other artists here?
Old habits, maybe.
Fair. I shall endeavor to gesture less.
Sure.
Alright.
Yeah. Whatever suits you is fine.
The Grandbreaker brothers are immediately going to head for a room. If no one is objecting to where they're going, they're just going to head for this one. They have no interest in socializing. Sabrina's sitting at one of the tables, just kind of like flipping through some of the books from her bag. Raven is also like going through one of the sketchbooks, and is kind of like eyeing some of the doors.
Dove, walked over to the little seating area that looks like a little bit of a library over here, and has kind of browsed the book selection to see if they have anything she hasn't read yet. Anything on birds?
Go ahead and give me a straight intelligence check.
Thank you. I assume you prepared the library.
Every book on the shelf.
Yeah. That is a 5 again.
Oh.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay. You don't you're looking for books on birds, but
Yes.
all you're really finding are various. You pull a book off the shelf, and some of them look like there's a bird on the cover, but there's also a windswept hair. He's very muscled man. It just says The Secret of Raven Point. It's clearly a trashy romance novel. And you pull a couple others. They're all looking like trashy romance novels that are just named around birds. There's 3 of them amongst the collection. That's all you find on birds there. Nothing scientific, nothing very helpful.
I grab those 3, read the last sentence of each of them, and pick the one that sounds the most spicy and take that and put it in my bag.
Absolutely. I like that you imagine that the last sentence is the most spicy.
I don't know. I rolled a 5 on my intelligence check. It's got to be the last sentence.
That's fair. Absolutely. Yeah. You do that. You grab one. It's yours now.
Okay. Next, she's just gonna slurkle the room and peek into every single one of these rooms until she finds one that the Granite Breakers took theirs, so it's fine. But she will at one point walk by Mannequin and Premac, checking the rooms.
Mannequin goes quiet and kind of watches Bird go by out of the corner of her eye.
Does she notice? Does she notice that the probably not. Should we roll for it?
Sure.
I don't think she. Okay.
Give me an insight check. I would almost say at disadvantage, but I'm just gonna let you roll it.
Oh, whoa! It was almost a 3, but I rolled a 21.
Yeah.
Whoa!
You're definitely getting some vibes. You're picking up some vibes.
Yeah. As I'm passing, I'll just do an eye. Are you all discussing outfits then?
Yes.
Oh.
I was planning on coming to you next.
Right, yes. Well, make sure you don't spend too much on just this one performer's outfit. I mean, there's so many of us here. You make sure you get everybody equally.
Yes, some of us need more attention than others.
Oh, you're fun, aren't you? I thought you already had a very nice outfit, as Premac mentioned. I don't know why you're here speaking with him so much. I mean, did you tear your pants or something?
Concerned about your own, since you wanted his attention so badly.
I'm just here talking to you all because, you're having a little meeting in the corner. I thought I'd join in. They're supposed to make friends and such.
Yes, indeed. Anyways, I think I shall be heading on to a room now. And I'll get up and go to the room with the gold, yellowy gold.
I color-coded the carpets for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I was looking at them. I was like, this is nice.
Just gonna walk over there and
Absolutely.
go.
Dude, that was probably the biggest room. It's the one I didn't check yet.
Now the door is closed.
Yeah.
As you leave, Premac is kind of just watching back and forth and stops at the end and looks at Bird and says, "The smell under my cloak currently from the sweat of that being very uncomfortable is unpleasant. I didn't enjoy that. I may need to go clean up."
Sabrina and Aravan just like turn over their shoulder and they're like,
Okay. That last sentence got me. I was going to say that I found that one rather difficult to be around, but you are competing for that title. All right. Do you need a moment before we can discuss my outfit? Or she's like taking steps backwards as
His head disappears inside. He just comes back up. He's like, I'm okay for the moment. I don't enjoy those difficult, awkward social moments. Not very nice. Don't enjoy that. Between others.
Right.
Yes.
Oh. Well, you'll love being around me then. I make friends anywhere I go, so it'll be perfectly fine. Probably. Anyway, let's discuss as far as my outfit goes. I want some kind of military sort of coat with a lot of glitter, and then for my glaive, I'm going to need some ribbons. And the way that she like discusses the rest of it, completely, she did not know what Mana was doing, but there's a few things that are similar, but she didn't. It's not like she didn't overhear it. It's just like for some reason it was thinking in the same way for just like a couple options.
Freemac would 100% notice that and is and colors
I'm thinking, I mean, it's a wedding, right? So probably should do. Oh, are you supposed to wear? Is it good to wear white at a wedding, or are you not supposed to do that because the bride gets all angry? Because I was thinking all white, but I mean, I might show her up. Wouldn't want to.
I think the white would be best because it would hide the bird shit.
That is an amazing idea. You are. This is why you're the tailor. Okay, let's do all white, but we'll do like a red heart like in the center, just so it's not all white, just so I don't like,
Excellent. Yes.
Really. Yes.
Scott, can you give me just a pure intelligence check?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna piss off the bride. I'm gonna ruin all my chances of making any friends here.
14.
You know that bird shit isn't all white. It depends on the bird.
Wait, shouldn't I know that?
You're welcome to also do an animal nature.
Okay, wait. I spend so much time with birds. I feel like I should just know that.
You can have advantage.
Okay. I just haven't noticed the
Whether
shit.
it occurs to you in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might be just the moment. Here, we'll roll for it. Okay, I got a natural 20. That makes sense.
You know the exact colors of bird
And
poop of
consistencies.
all of your birds.
Yep.
Sometimes
Right.
they're a little spotty. Sometimes they got like flecks in them. Kind of depends on what they eat. But like pure white is a bad move.
You know
Pure
what?
black, also a bad move.
You know that floor that's kind of like gray speckled?
That's exactly
That's
what I was
like-
thinking.
Yeah. That anything you drop on it just straight up disappears.
Disappears, yeah. I have carpet like that. I can't find anything unless I like really look. All right. Rethought it. Now that I think about it, only like 25% of bird shit is white. The rest is various other colors. So,
Got you. Yes.
how about
Let
we
us do
do
this.
there's this like substance. It's usually I've seen it in like a few taverns once in a while in like the larger cities. It's usually in a circle. It's like this circular ball, and it shines. It just glistens and it spins. And I've seen it only in a few like very very special taverns every once in a while. But kind of that look, but all over.
Right. Yes. I think I can. You want to blind the guests, essentially.
Well, I mean, blinded by my talent. Absolutely.
Perfect. Yes. I think
I'm talking about a disco ball.
I'm picturing like bright sequence kind of like
Yeah.
flashy stuff. Yeah.
You want to have this
I'm saying, give me a disco ball military suit. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, Oof. Yeah, no, go. Yeah, we can try and make this work.
I feel like I've seen that in
so many
in,
comments.
what's the band? I feel like I've seen this exact outfit in what's Fergie and the rest of them, whatever that band is.
Black Eyed Peas?
Black Eyed Peas. I'm sure
Yeah.
I've seen them wear this.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Only special taverns have disco balls. Yeah.
I think I can picture what you're referring to. I can probably
Yes.
make something. Yes.
I think they'll be so blinded by how great I look that they won't see all the bird shit.
Perfect.
All right.
I'll see what I can do.
I appreciate it. Now go find a tub or something. Do your washing up.
Excellent.
Maybe I can ask for another trough for you. They're getting me one already. I can get you too.
Preem will turn to whatever is the nearest room to where we're standing and just walk straight in.
Yes.
If you're going on the map, it's the black carpet.
Okay, so luckily no one's there. In he goes.
Okay, cool. Sabrina's getting up from her table and kind of like making eyes at various doors, and she's like, Dove, you good? Is that your room? Are you good?
Just a moment. I check it. Is it bigger or smaller than the others that I've checked, which is the red and the green?
You don't, if you've checked, this one has like a little bit more corner space. The green had similar. The red was probably like, it leans up to the hallway, so.
Okay. I'll take this purple one then.
Okay. Sabrina's gonna go over to the red one, or Raven's gonna go over to the green one, and this is gonna be your chance to long rest and like prepare for the feast. If there's anything specific that you would like to do, you don't have to like stay in this common area. You can walk around if you want to. You can do whatever you need to prepare. If there's like stuff you want to prepare, I'll just assume that you have done it in this time. Yeah.
I would like to try. I don't know what I can do exactly, but I'd like to try to investigate more about these candies I took from Bird.
Yeah.
Just try to see a little bit more about what they can do.
Yes. Why don't you give me an Arcana check?
Yes.
And I will pull up my.
No, I have no idea. That's a 6.
So okay. It wasn't that you have no idea. There are 7 candies, and I'm not saying that you now know 6 of them. You are trying to figure out what this is, and it takes you a hot second. You figure out one of them, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
And one of these candies.
I will say I fair idea with the transmutation, or I have some thoughts about the transmutation ones. I'm more interested in the abjuration or the evocation. That's what I'd focus on more.
Okay. The abjuration one, I'm gonna scroll down here, is it's kind of like a light blue candy. It kind of looks like saltwater taffy, if that's like a thing that people understand and know. And this little candy will basically, it's like kind of squishy. It will protect you in a certain amount of time. It's the cantrip Blade Ward if you eat it.
Oh, interesting. How long does it last?
A minute.
Okay.
It's just a cantrip Blade Ward.
Well, the cantrip itself only lasts 1 round, so I was curious if
you eat, I'm gonna say it's gonna last you a minute because it's like a magical thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're like, it's taffy. You chew it for a while. You're fine.
Okay.
It's stuck in your teeth, and you're like, I still got a little bit of blade ward left over.
My one tooth is still resistant to piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing damage because I can't get that one piece
2
out.
days later.
Yeah.
What happens if you get a cavity from those? Anyway, so That gave me a fun idea. Well, is there like there was like dried food on these tables? Is there like anything in our room? Is there like a bottle of wine anywhere?
I'm gonna say sure. Like
Seems like
you have like a bottle of wine, mead, ale, kind of like not eat one of each, but like your rooms will have something. To drink, there's still some more dried goods, probably a little stale bread at this point. And you know that you could probably make your way down to the kitchens if you wanted to eat something.
Okay, I'll just pack up a bit of this food because they said we were going into the forest, and I want to have something for that. But then also looking at the wine glass that we just collected, I'm going to like use my shirt and just give it a little clean, get some of the goop off of it from the lady dissolving, and I'll pop the wine and pour it in and take a sip and hope that I don't die.
What languages do you speak?
That's an interesting question. Common, Dwarvish, Halfling, or Sylvan?
You can see that some of these runes along the base of this wine glass are in Sylvan. Which isn't that shocking because it's from a hag. And it just says, surprise awaits. Speak the word. When you drink the wine out of just the wine glass, no, it's just wine. Which is surprise awaits. Speak the word.
I'll finish the glass. Surprise?
What'd you say? Surprise?
Surprise?
Yeah. You finish the glass, you put the wine glass down, and you say, surprise? And you see this like almost out of the metal itself. It almost looks like it's a little corroded and like oxidized, and like a little puddle of some like viscous looking liquid is at the bottom of it now.
Oh, I'm glad I finished my wine before I said that. Give it a sniff. I don't know, how do you test things that are magical?
You could give me a nature check.
Okay.
I was gonna say survival, but that's if you
No. Okay. What is going on? I got a 6.
Oh, Abby.
Oh, I've been rolling so
no,
bad.
it's not wine. It's bad. It's some kind of bad liquid.
Okay. I will... What's a good test? I'll take some of that stale bread and I'll dump it on the bread and see how that looks.
Yeah, you dump it on the bread, and the bread looks like it almost immediately starts like... There's like a sizzle for a moment, and then like almost like mold is growing inside of the bread from where like it's rapidly growing mold on the inside of it. You assume that this is some kind of poison.
Yeah, it's like a poisoner's cup. I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well. Wonderful. I will need to be cautious when I drink out of this. Glad I cleaned it first.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for the rest of the like break, she's just gonna figure out the thing with the florist and then practice a little bit and set up the poop rock.
Okay. Are you gonna go talk to the florist?
We can do that. If you don't want to do that, that's fine too. But basically, she's just asking for flowers for her outfit to put into her hair and around on her outfit, and then some for the birds to carry.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, you can go talk with the florist. She's she's also a little stressed, but she seems a lot like she's handling it a lot better than Lord Nolan. And she just kind of like, it's like, yeah, absolutely, we will get you some of that. It will be fine. And yeah, you have no problem.
Perfect.
There's like, servants are kind of like moving around. And every time, go ahead, actually give me a perception check just for like, as you're out and about.
Okay. Apparently I rolled 19s and 5s. That is a 21.
Cool. You do notice as like you're walking around the palace, like you go into the florist and like there's like a gaggle of some like maids and people. They were clearly like having a sort of a conversation, and you came in and they stopped. And then like they let you have your conversation with the florist. They're not like mean mugging you, but they absolutely were like, we were having a conversation, we don't want you to hear this. And that happens to you like twice as you're going around.
Interesting. I'm going to, since I have a little bit of time, I'm going to walk about and see if there is a, like, bird, probably. Just another wild bird that's kind of chilling around the area. That looks like it's the type that, like, sits and, like, knows that people throw crumbs out here, and it's a local one. I'm looking for a local.
Looking for a local. Yeah, you absolutely, you find like a nice little, like, side courtyard area, and there's like a bird solid hanging out. I'm gonna say it's a starling. Just a nice little starling who's just kind of like clearly waiting.
Well, I'm going to sit next to it. Aren't you a star? And I'm going to cast Animal Friendship.
Okay, what does that do?
It's just my friend.
Okay, you're just making bird friends.
Wait. I think, actually, sorry, Beast Bond is the one that I want.
Beast bond. Okay.
Yes. And then so I will, aren't you a star? And when I do that, I will give it a little poke, if hopefully quickly, so I can get it before it flies away.
Yeah,
it's a touch.
To people, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you reach out and you like touch it, like it thinks you have some like crumbs for it, and you get to like just kind of brush its feathers and cast Beast Bond on this.
So I can read the spell out if we want to hear it.
Yeah, why don't you explain what you've just done to this bird?
Absolutely. So I have created a telepathic link between me and this lovely starling. And so I am friendly. It's charmed by me. I'm guessing its intelligence is not 4 or higher, so it does not. It's good. Yep. Until the spell ends, while the link is active, and I'm in line of sight with this bird, we can communicate through telepathic messages. It can communicate simple emotions and concepts to me, and then I can give it commands. While the link is active, the beast gets advantage on attack rolls and against any creature within 5 feet. That part's fine. Mostly, I've got a spy now.
For 10 minutes, you have a spy. Yes.
Yes. All right.
What are you gonna do with your bird spy? Oh god, I've just realized what you've done. Cool. The birds are now your spies. Or
Yes.
this bird is now your spy for 10 minutes. And
Yes.
it is clearly just thinking about food right now. What would you like to use your bird spy for?
Well, then, I mean, it's thinking about food already. I'll have it go towards, like, the area where they're, like, planning the food, the banquet. I'm guessing they have some stuff sitting out that they're probably moving around. And the area where I've seen a few people talking and getting all quiet around me. And so I will be getting back at them by, one, having the bird go by and listen, and then let me know, like, in the simple concepts, what topics they're discussing. And then also poop on at least one of the things that they are making. Just
I'm
as
gonna say
insight.
you can absolutely do this. I will say that the bird knows where the kitchens are, and they have the windows open because the oven's going. It is a busy time in the kitchens as the sun starts going down, and they're preparing for the feast. So like the bird like gets on the little windowsill and is like getting at some of those crumbs. And so you have a telepathic link, yes? So the bird has to tell you what's happening.
Yes. So it can communicate emotions and concepts. So if you can give me the theme of this conversation in emotion and concept, go.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
There are definitely there's people in this kitchen, and you get the sense that one, they're stressed. You generally think that that's because there's a big feast that's about to happen.
Yep.
2, a few people are like kind of nervous. Like they're not full on scared, but they're kind of like they've got some anxiety, and one of them is really sad. One of them is very, very sad. And that's what you get of the emotional impact of these servants through this bird.
Yes, that is what I did. I enjoy this spell. All right. Then, am I able to pinpoint which one is really, really sad? Because that means they're the weakest.
You see, or the bird sees that there is like a short young woman. The bird knows that like what ears are supposed to look like. They understand the concept of ears. That she looks like a half elf.
Okay.
She is like, people seem to be talking around her about whatever it is that they're talking about. The bird does not understand. But she just feels like she's not saying anything, but she's just very sad. Like clearly looks very sad.
Okay. I'll spend like it's only 10 minutes, but I'll do this like a few more times just around areas just to get a general vibe from around the place. If I find another stronger emotion, I'll go towards that. But for now, I'm going to use up my time and then wait until this conversation splits up so then I can catch that girl and talk to her.
Yeah, most of it is like there's some excitement. There are some people who are a little drunk already. They're pre-gaming. There is some stress, particularly from Lord Nolan Solar. So it's like that's generally. There are two kind of pings of one person is angry. There's not like very angry. It just seems to be like angry. And one person emotionally seems like very pleased with themselves, like very like haha.
Oh,
But that's it.
A little arrogant. All right.
But to be fair, this is like a royal palace, so that doesn't.
Oh, yeah. I get it. Yeah. All right. Well, the sad person seems. Sorry.
No, go for it.
Yeah. Sorry, this is taking such a long time. I would like to talk to the sad person though.
Okay, rad. So you're gonna make your way to the kitchens?
Yes.
Towards the kitchens? Yeah. People are like moving food around. The conversation breaks up as they're like told to go bring food into the Great Hall. And you kind of see this girl like carrying some like bottles of wine. And she's headed towards the Great Hall. She's not with anyone. They kind of went off in pairs and she's by herself.
I'll just kind of walk into stride with her, and if she looks like she's having difficulties with the bottles, she'll like grab a bunch of them and help her out. Like obviously not like take them out, but like offer. Would you like a hand?
Oh. Sure. Are you...
I would like to. I saw you come out of the kitchens. I was thinking I would talk to somebody about possible rations for my birds, and saw you were walking through here. Maybe we can walk and talk. Yes?
Yeah. Sure.
Lovely.
She's like looking like over you. Did you change?
No, I don't think I'm guessing my outfit's not ready yet, so I
So you're
still
still
look.
a little bloodstained.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't think about that part.
Yeah.
But yes.
She like is like what, and like she sort of gets it because like gossip has flown around about what happened earlier, and she's just like, oh sure, and she kind of like moves 2 bottles towards you so that she can offload the other ones and like carry them a little bit better. She's like, we're just going to the Great Hall. You sure you're supposed to be doing this?
Oh, well, I mean, I was just, preparing for I'm one of the performers. And, warming up, I think lifting a little bit of things might help me, wouldn't you say?
I guess if that's the thing that you're going to perform, sure.
Oh, you'll see. What's your name?
Oh, she's like looking over you and is like, isn't sure. And go ahead and give me an insight check. I don't want to just like give you information about. I don't know what she's feeling.
Okay. That's
I'm also giving you an opportunity to either get a 19 or a 4 again, or whatever it is you're rolling.
How about right in the middle of 9? It's an 11.
Okay, and 11. She's clearly like, you are a new person, but you are also not like the type of new person she usually meets because this is the
I'm a
Royal
lot.
Palace.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's like looking up at you, and she's like, you know what? Okay. She's still a little nervous, but she seems a little bit more at ease with you, even though she's like glancing around at some of the other servants that are passing by. And you get the sense that like you're not just a straight up human, and so she feels a little bit more comfortable with you. And she goes, yeah, my name is Ren, and
Oh, I like that name. Birdie.
Oh. Yes. Birdie.
I'm Dove.
Oh, that's...
Yes.
It's fun.
I like birds, bird names. I think we'll be friends. I was just walking along, and I have this. One of my performing abilities is that I have sort of an aura sensing ability, and I was looking over at your aura, and it looked rather down, and I was just wondering if you'd, like somebody to talk to.
Are you like a fortune teller or something? Sensing my aura?
Yes.
Magician? Oh, you're a fortune teller. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. If you ever shouldn't you like know already? Shouldn't you be able to like guess?
No, see, my fortunes are more in auras. So I see your aura, and I see that you are feeling very, very down, and I need more information from you to then pull the next part of the fortune. So one part, it's like aura plus current statement equals fortune. You see?
Please give me a
Science.
Please give me a deception roll.
It's science.
I mean, I can't argue with that.
Okay, there we go. There's deception. Oh, it's the 19 again. 22.
She's like, okay, cool. This checks out. I'm down with this. She's like,
Birds don't have
okay.
big brains.
Yeah.
She's not a bird.
Ren.
She's like, yes, it's been a rather trying time. I don't. Yeah, it's not been fun around the palace lately. I don't know if you've heard.
Have I?
I mean, like, they haven't told you already, like, why things are like, aren't you, so you're one of the performers for the wedding, so, like, you should have been updated about the changes to the wedding, right?
Oh, please. Tell me. I mean, I've heard a few things, but, make sure what I got is right information.
Oh, I mean, like, they've had to delay. They're waiting on the Keeper of Tierna to come and do the wedding because, well, yeah, our high priest, he died.
Oh, gasp. That's...
He's like, yes, gasp.
Is that a recent, sudden, surprise death, or no, he was old, it was coming, kind of thing?
No one's really sure. Like, some people just say that, like, he was old. But, I mean, he was in fine health, like, the last time I saw him. But they just found him in the hallway one evening, and he was dead.
Oh, like a murder.
No, like, I think we would have known if he was, like, murdered. He wasn't, like, stabbed.
Oh, okay.
Just died. I mean, I don't know. They didn't tell us much. I just know he died. They're trying to keep it on the down low because the princess and the Queen of Lys are here. So
makes sense. My.
Yeah.
And did you know him well? You seem like you said you seemed sad. Was it just?
He was nice to me. Some of the priests aren't nice to, and she kind of like points up at her ears.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, yes, it being kind of part Fae around here isn't the greatest. Like, they're fine, but some people give you a hard time. And he was nice, and it kind of sucks that he's going to be replaced, probably by someone who's not so nice.
I see. Well, that is just the most wonderful information that you've given me. So then there's this new priest, and you don't know anything about this Keeper of Tierna. Is this like a priest from another kingdom coming in, or is this just a different another kingdom?
Oh yeah, he's the head guy.
Oh,
Like, we have a high priest because it's like a city, like most of the cities do. The Lys party didn't bring theirs because they assumed that we would have one. So they petitioned to have the keeper come and do the ceremony instead. So he's traveling. They were part of that group that arrived earlier. Though I haven't seen him. He's usually like, you will know who the Keeper of Tierna is when he arrives. And Abby, you would know, like, your character would know because you've traveled a little bit. Like,
yeah,
Tierna is like the kind of one of the cities that like has a like a little religion around various magics and energies here. They are a little bit more embracing of magical ways than probably Silvar is. But like it was founded by the original groups of people who defeated the Fae, and so they're sort of who they are. And the Keeper is the head honcho. He doesn't stay in any of the other capitals, he just stays in Tierna.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, thank you very much, Ren. Probably have arrived at our destination with the bottles.
Yes.
I'm sure I can find you. You're busy. You're stressed. I'm sure I can find somebody else to deal with the bird feed thing for me. Anyway, your fortune. Things will be very difficult going forward, continuing to be. But you know what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and I expect that you will be stronger. There you go.
Someone's gonna kill me, and it's like you say that, and she, like,
and I just turned and walking away.
She's clearly like, you just drop that on her, and she's like, what?
What doesn't kill you? What doesn't kill you makes you strong.
Okay. All right.
Stand a little taller.
Cool. And she's just
Get
like,
some higher heels.
Yep.
you can return.
Yes.
Is there anything anyone else would have liked to be doing in that time, or just prepping and then we're going to feast time?
Prepping.
Premac will have immediately disrobed completely, gotten into a hot bath.
Unlike the hag.
Unlike the hag.
Apparently.
Realizing I wish I had some of those candies. And will immediately, while working, his tail is out grabbing stuff, and he's finalizing, now that he's got this document, he's working as he goes and trying to also finish up some little handkerchief like table favors for the folks this evening, with like just initials on them of people who will, they're already kind of prepared things that he brought, but just like prepping them with the initials of people who are going to be seated at dinner.
Cool. Awesome. All right. If there's nothing else, you all will have prepared, and we will begin our feast.
Did you say we did take a rest during
You
this
have
time?
taken a long rest. None of you have like fought or like done anything super heavy, so you did light activity, a long rest.
Okay, thank you.
Lovely.
You can have eat
Click the
eat a
button.
little bit, drink. Cool.
Is the casting of my beast bond before or after when this long rest activates?
I will
Either
say
is fine.
it was after, because you were like out and doing things.
Okay. That's good. It's all good.
Long rest.
Yes, you can long rest. And then boop boop boop. We're gonna switch over. And we're gonna go over to our feast. And again, I had a visual. I need to just find it. Orders. Hall. Feast! It's not as pretty, but there's going to be a lot of people and things. We've got our little feast hall here in Owlbear Rodeo. There it is. Oh, but one thing didn't export. It's fine because I have drawing tools. There we go.
Oh, there's a table. There you go.
Now
I was wondering about that.
I hid some things. In Dungeon
That's where
Draft.
the royals just watch us eat. Like,
Yeah.
They have
No, it's fine.
you got TV tables.
Yeah, but there are people filling the hall. I did not go overboard with this.
Oh, wait.
You guys have
quick.
seats of yes.
Bird's poop rock. And the trough. How did that go?
Yeah, how did that go?
I don't know. How has my training been successful? Should I roll for it?
Do an animal handling check with advantage because you said you had a poop rock.
Yes, I've prepared. I've got some different herbs on it that they find good for pooping. I think.
Refined good for pooping. We love that.
12.
How's the 12 work
I-
out with poop rocks?
I rolled a 2 and a 10. 12.
Okay. Yeah, a 12. Yeah, that poop rock. You know, most of them are using it.
Yes.
But there's a couple that are just like hanging out on top of the bookshelves, and they are pooping up a storm.
Oh, on the books too. Darn. Well. Hazard of the trade.
Cool.
It's just gonna seep into the pages.
Light poop time.
Halfway through a dirty novel, and then you get this like streak.
Literally a dirty novel.
Aw.
Oh. Oof. Oof.
See, this is what happens when you let us like have the floor for a moment.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have allowed it. Okay, well,
What else you expected?
I don't know. Don't know at all. I should have known this. I should have realized that this was going to happen.
You should have known the minute I asked about poop rock.
I really should have, and I just didn't. And I'm regretting that now. I understand what I've done.
Well, maybe we could refer to Josh's question in chat then at this time. Abby, which herbs are good for pooping on the poop rock?
Well,
Specific bird poop. Because we do
Right.
have like a pretty standard medical record of the kind that's good for people pooping.
yes, I was thinking. Well, my first thought was just rubbing coffee beans on it, but I guess that's more a human one. I don't know herb names.
Awesome.
I know like basil and thyme and rosemary. I make a stew.
Bird knows by sight. Or maybe by taste.
Yeah. I just go into the forest and I chew on some bushes until I find the one that's like, yes, that is the one.
Cool.
I'm feeling something in my mouth.
It's like stevia. It's a very nice herb.
Oh man, I hate all of this. I hate all of
I'm so
Is this
sorry.
out in our common room here?
it. Yeah.
Your
So-
birds are the poop rocks out in the common room, but for us
Oh,
as we're leaving.
I mean
Oh.
no, probably because if I wanted to close my door, I wouldn't want them to like not be able to go. So it's probably in my room.
Okay, so we wouldn't see
Sadly,
it. Yeah,
no.
it's fine.
I mean, you
You're good.
might see the like trail of poop that's like coming out of my door from the ones that didn't make it to the rock. Wherever bird goes, there's like a little like it's like a train instead of flowers. It's wonderful poops.
Awesome.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm
Does
really.
bird give her birds specific herbs? Change the color of
Weird.
their poop?
Sorry?
Does bird give her birds specific herbs to change the color of their poo?
I hasn't
That
thought
would
of
be
that
a
yet,
feature.
but we're gonna need to talk about it.
Awesome. I love this for you. I absolutely love this for you.
Do you?
I don't. This is a lot. I'm currently like y'all are stalling for time here while I fill up this hall with like NPCs. They're just getting the little gears. I promise that they're not artificers.
Okay.
We'll
Would
throw
you
some
like to take
randos
a
in
little
there.
break, if it would be helpful?
Yes, I
That's
would
a good
love
time.
a five minutes. Do we want 10 or 5?
Whatever you need.
Let's take a 5-minute break.
Okay, 5 minutes it is.
And we will come back at 9:30 Eastern
Ooh,
time.
perfect.
And we'll return to feast time.
Everyone can take a quick poop rock break.
Yes.
Yep.
See you in a
Poop rock.
moment.
Make sure you
Check
have
the
your
poop
poop rock.
Yes.
Jesus. I hope you all enjoyed your poop rocks. Don't lose them. You thought I was going to forget this? I haven't. Make sure you know where your poop rock is at all times. But we have returned to the lovely feast being held in honor of this wedding. And now our lovely party's victory over this hag. They have been invited to a seat of honor at the feast for this wedding. And I realized I used the wrong map, so we have a much nicer map that I made here for our players, and I have filled it with the correct people who are supposed to be here. As the guest list I sent to Scott earlier, as he had asked for it. Assume there's like other people kind of like wandering about, but these are like main important people that Scott specifically asked about. And there's like an amount of sound. It's kind of chill. Ignore the people racing on the street outside my home. But the grand hall is decked out in rich reds and blues. The flags of Silver and Elise are hung behind the like high table where the like guests of honor and the royals are. The high table's like kind of up on a dais. It's like up a step. And then there's a lower table for like our honored guests, or nobles and you, lovely, lovely victors. And then there's like the kind of normal people tables where there's people who are clearly like merchants, important people, but they're not like nobility. There's some like, they're clearly carousing as well. You would notice as you come in, this is clearly designed for these kinds of events. In each of the corners of the room is a large statue of various things, and then two, they're not like the size of dragon skulls that you expect to be dragon skulls, but they are in the corners of the room kind of flanking the royal table. But there are statues of various, you seem to be warriors or like people who might be important. And yeah, Prince Varen is at his seat. He's kind of like surrounded by a few people who are like standing by his table, clearly like trying to play into, we're going to be friends with the prince. He's dressed in like this crimson velvet. He's been drinking a little heavily, you can tell. He's like gesturing a little bit more wildly. And as people are filtering in and talking, you can kind of hear his voice carrying a little bit louder. Something about his marvelous victory over that hag. And the other nobles seem to be congratulating him. Princess Ariella is sitting with her mother, Queen Thalia, on the other side of the table. She's got dark skin, and like her hair is kind of intricately braided around her head in like almost like a crown. And she's got like little curling vines and things kind of pinned in there. She's like smiling, but she's clearly quieter than the prince. She's just kind of scanning the crowd. She looks a little bit more sharp than Prince Varen is. The other royals are up there. There's a few other people kind of scattered about. But you have a table to yourself that is kind of over there. There's a couple people to your left because you're facing the big room. You have the royals at your back. And yeah, there's a lovely feast. People, like servants, are milling about. No one's kind of gotten attention yet. You do see the other entertainers are like out in the room. I will say, I will put them approximately where they are, except for Sabrina. Sabrina, who's like, she's kind of doing like pre-feast entertainment. They're like long black silk curtains hung from the ceiling, and she's like artfully twisted in them, like climbing, dropping. Like people are clearly very impressed by some of her acrobatics going on here. But currently, like the feast is happening, but there hasn't been like announcements. There hasn't been anything like super
official
important happening. Yeah, there's like no one's made any sort of things. Nolan seems to be like very nervously like checking things and looking around where he is kind of seated next to the prince. But there's servants, there's people. You don't have to stay at your table. You can sort of mingle while things are happening. And you will have moments in which to do some things where the entertainers will be invited. I will also say that the only thing is Raven is not sitting at any of the tables. He is sitting like off in this corner. by the statue. He's like set up. He looked like he's painting.
Ah.
Okay, gotcha.
I make sure my good side is pointed at him.
Oh, absolutely.
At one point, kind of realizing where he's been seated, Premac looks around and leans back and tail taps Dove's shoulder.
Yes.
I think perhaps you may be dressed better for being seated closer to the royals. Would you care to switch with me?
Oh, but I'm closer to the artist, which means I will be easier to see in the history books.
Fair enough. And he'll just kind of
You need to
shrink
think about-
down and
Lasting impression, dear.
Is Lord Nolan wearing the pants?
Lord Nolan is wearing the pants.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
He
He is not making eye contact with any of you.
I'm going.
Mana is sitting very rigidly right next to Dove, and she's got, it's a cat face, so who knows how much she can really smile, but whatever smile is there is kind of forced.
She does. Dove does not notice this at all. Leans over, like kind of leaning closer to you, and to talk to Premac as well, kind of like getting a little bit of a huddle. Would you like to hear some gossip?
Any news is good, yes.
Oh, I don't know. It's not really good news. It's about death.
You seem excited to tell it.
Of course. I was doing a little carousing earlier, and I spoke to this lovely little half elf woman. She told me that the wedding is being delayed.
Delayed. For what
Yeah.
reason?
Death. There's the current priest who was supposed to do the. I'm whispering all of this, but still in the voice. The
Mana's
current priest-
leaned back, but very she's not looking like she's paying attention to the conversation, but she is.
the priest they found dead in the hallways, and apparently he was a very nice person. Is that correct? You looked.
He's a very nice person to her, the kind of like
Oh.
elves.
Okay.
He was nice to elves.
Yes. According to the half elf, he was a very nice. He was an ally as far as the Fae go, and but now they're having the Keeper of Tierna. They're waiting on him.
Well, what was the name of the person who died? Do you know?
She told me. I missed that one when writing things down. What was it?
I didn't tell you.
Yeah, I didn't know it actually.
She just said the high priest.
Yes, I don't know. Just the current. Oh, he was like a local, I think. She said he was the one that was like the one who was from here, but now this other is coming in from far afar, and who knows what their views are.
Yes, Eldridge. I believe Eldridge Cassian. Cassian. I've not met them, but they are also from Tierna, where I come from.
Ah. You haven't met them, but do you have any rumors about them? Have you heard anything?
Would I have heard anything about
You would have.
Keeper of Tierna?
Yes, the Keeper of Tierna. So some little bit of lore. Tierna is like an older city. It's actually like built on a ruin of like a Fae city. And there's like a monastic order that the Keeper is the head of. There's various levels of orthodoxy within this. But they basically have like some strange customs. They're based around these large mosaics. A lot of the buildings in Tierna are like almost all built out of like crushed various different colors of rock. It's a very colorful and like very pretty place. But it's all about like what to do with history, and the Keeper of Tierna is very much preserve history, and that's about it. In terms of like how we have flourished in the continent. So, like, preserve the history of the fairy wars, preserve our history of, like, make sure that we can continue on. And there's a couple people in the church who don't like that. They say we should learn from history and grow and, like, move past it. And a lot of those people left Tierna and created New Tierna, which is somewhere else on the map. So, like, Eldridge Cassian is a fairly, like, moderate dude in terms of keepers. He was picked because he, like, wasn't offensive to any of the sides. And he's, like, doing his best. You would know he's, like, a really genial guy. He likes parties. And he tries to not step on toes in the various, like, political and religious things. He's just trying to keep the peace.
Now, is this the guy who died or the guy who's coming in?
This is the guy who is now taking over. You don't know the name of the guy who died. He was the, like, head priest of Silvar, so he was, like, part of the church, but, like, he was a bishop, whereas this is, like, the Pope.
Gotcha.
Yes,
Not
he was.
that
He kind of points with his tail over to where I presume Eldridge would be here.
He would have been in that empty spot
Gotcha.
right here, but he is not there.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
So I'll gesture over because I have the list of who's here this evening, and we'll point over and say, "Not here yet. He's what I understand, a fairly nice person, but I have not. He goes to parties yet, has not requested any garments from me yet, so he can't be that smart."
Perhaps he just has poor taste.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
that's why they come to me. Except for present company, oddly. You two are both exceptions in that I didn't have to do a lot of work to elevate. I mean, some, but not as much. It's unique.
I wasn't sure if that was going to be a compliment or something backhanded, but I believe that was a compliment. Thank you.
Yes, if that's what you want it to be.
With
Yes.
a little edge of backhand, just a little.
He has a little scale. That's all right.
Just an edge.
Well, I just thought you might find that little tidbit fun. But hopefully things will start up soon.
Yes, starting up. That sounds good. And Preem will get up and will walk straight across the room here to
Who are you going to? I'm so anxious.
not far. Walks straight up
Straight up to the queen.
to the opposite side of Calliope.
Yes,
Um,
Calliope Corvus.
Yes, who he would vaguely probably know.
She has
Um,
absolutely bought some of your clothes.
Okay. All right. So he just stands up, walks across, comes across to the other side of the table, gets down, puts both of his elbows down on the table, and looks straight at her across the table and says, "Good evening. I assume that you are deeply involved in investigating what happened to Keplin. I presume that Keplin alerted you to the theft and that you are here also investigating."
Yes. I am clearly here on an investigate. I'm here for the wedding, Primac.
Yes.
The investigation is happening. I have men on it. It's fine. We're at a feast for a wedding. Things will progress. We don't have any leads still. Have you found this person who attacked your partner?
No, I have not found anyone yet, but that is why I'm here. I mean, for the wedding. Yes.
Yes, for the wedding. And she like glances over at her side at where these two individuals are sitting, and she's like, Thank you so much for the lovely finery that you've made me. It's an honor, and I thank you. And goodbye.
Yes. If you have any further information, I'm in the room with all the poop. And he will turn and
She just looks at you and is like, she just like turns to the guy at her side who's like busy eating. She's like, the room with the poop. And just, you leave.
Please description.
Would we have been able to hear that?
I'm gonna say yeah. Like,
he wasn't subtle.
yeah, he was not subtle. Actually, ooh. Wait, I have dice. Because I don't get the game log. I don't have a character, and I'm not running combat yet. So let me not drop all my dice. Get some dice ASMR here. Cool. Cool. All right. Things are happening behind the scenes that you don't know.
Oh.
That was me putting the dice down, not like rolling damage.
Oh no!
I don't have any soft place in the dice.
3 birds just ran into windows. It's horrible.
Yeah, something happened. You don't know, unless you'd like to do a perception check to figure it out, but I don't know that you would.
I'm not paying attention. I'm watching people. And I would love to do a perception check while I'm up. Just a general sweep to see what are people wearing. Mm-hmm. Do I recognize anyone else who might be a customer who has clothing purchased by me? Any of my garments out and about tonight?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
I would love to roll that thing I'm not very good at. But that's a 20.
A 20. Ooh. Yeah. You are looking around this place, and you clearly see Lady Calliope Corvus, the Arbiter of Tierna, the law keeper, as she's known, is clearly wearing one of yours. The man next to her, his name on the map is Throg, because I couldn't fit Throgmorton. But he is also there. He's a merchant, very powerful in Osa Umeni. He's also wearing what looks like one of your jackets that's like a few seasons old. But he's like not the most fashionable of people. It actually looks like this man over here, all the way over on this table, the least side of the tables, so to speak. You would assume, like, looking at the guest list, this looks like Archmage Weatherwax. And he kind of looks like one of, like, his long kind of cloak was probably purchased by you at one point. I was about to say he gets around, but I don't want to do that to this old man. And Nolan is wearing the pants you made him.
The pants, okay. And Weatherwax would be from Lease then?
Yes, Weatherwax is from the Magician's Council of Lease.
Okay.
There's most of the list that I sent you is sectioned off into Silvar, Lease.
That's lovely. I see that. Other. Thank you.
It's so organized and only some things. I'm going to say with your 20, though, you notice that. And you notice these two, who look to be Duke Uller and his sworn sword, Argo Finch. They're sitting and they're clearly like having a fun time. Argo is not, he's drinking, but he's also just like looking around the room. He's a little bit more business. And you get the sense from him, looking over his clothing, he's not like a fancy guy. He's really not supposed to be a fancy guy. The Duke is. He's like dressed to the nines. It's not your work though. Like it looks nice, but it's definitely not yours. Argo, however, has like a cap on his head, so you can't tell like the color of his hair or anything. But he has the like curlings of a tattoo on his arm that you can't totally make out. And it looks like he's wearing something a little like that doesn't fit him.
Okay. When you say doesn't fit him, like I can see what it is, or is it under? Okay.
It's too tight. It's like he had something else that he was gonna wear, and then someone told him he clearly chose something else, and he doesn't look super happy about it.
Okay. All right. I'll make note of the various clothing choices of people, and I'll have a seat again.
Okay.
And look at the two at the table and say, you get a sage nod looking at you. You are both the best dressed here. And have a seat.
Couldn't help but hear a little. You're investigating a theft?
Yes. My partner in business was assaulted, and one of the garments that we had produced, that she is the magic practitioner in our endeavor. I am the textile proficienist, and I had completed the garment, and she was infusing the magic in it, and the person who came to collect it got the jump on her.
No. Terrible.
So our shop is currently closed, and she is recovering.
Oh, you
Was she
think the person
badly
is...
hurt?
Oh, that too, yes.
Sorry, Mana, what did you say?
Was she badly hurt?
She was far more afraid than anything, but she did suffer a blow.
That's simply terrible. I'm sorry
I
to
don't
hear
know who the garment was for, and I don't know who picked it up. It was...
Why don't you know? Isn't that part of your business?
It was very unusual, in fact. It was measurements provided in a letter with payment up front. I made it. It was well made, of course. Not too fancy. Nice colors. But there was also a magic element to it. Some sort of protection, I believe. And someone came to pick it up. But Keplin, my partner, did not get a good look at them.
Well, that's simply terrible.
So, there's a possibility. The garment seemed unique enough that it could be worn at an engagement such as this. A wedding, perhaps. So here I am.
Interesting. An undercover mission.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what I was thinking. That's very interesting. So,
Well,
the measurements here, is it like, was it like a particularly large or small person? Do you have any idea from those?
Not particularly large, if I understand correctly. Actually, he would know exactly the measurements, but Scott's saying I don't think it was a particularly large person. I don't remember any description with that.
Fairly slim, but fit, tall, about 6 foot. And you would have all the other measurements. Clearly someone who's not really doing a bunch of hard labor, but also not someone it's not a lot of defining features in the measurements. It's not like he was 7 feet tall or something.
Yeah. A fit royal person who isn't doing a lot of work. Or a fit well-to-do person.
if you tell us what it looked like, we'll I'll at least keep a lookout.
Oh yes, me too. Catching a thief would be very good for
Very
advertising.
dramatic for a wedding.
Yes, and think about how many people would be like, "Yes, I want to watch that bird lady who caught a thief."
Sure. Will you poop on him?
I mean, I think adding insult to injury in it. Well, not on the garment, of course. We would want to avoid that. Speaking of,
What does it look?
I have probably already said too much. However, I do appreciate and I trust you as my loyal customers to keep this down low.
Of course.
For the moment. I will keep my eyes peeled for the moment, and if I have more information, I will share it, because I do appreciate the offer.
Well, can't you tell us what it looked like at the least?
the color
garment.
maybe.
Yeah, what color was it? kind of shape or cut?
Please, understand. It is not that I don't trust you. It's that I know that sometimes speaking for one's own, how might I say, grandiose endeavors might accidentally reveal too much. So, looking over at Dub for a moment, I would not want you to see the garment and say too much before I am ready to do something about it. So, for the moment, if you understand, I will withhold that information.
All right.
I was gonna say that she notices that he looked at her when he said that, but now she doesn't notice that. She's like, oh, yeah.
Basically, when you started acting like, ooh, I could, like,
Yep.
hey.
Yep. No,
he's
no,
like,
no.
I'm not saying anything because I don't want this happening
Completely
before."
understandable. But it goes over her head anyway, and she's like, well, all right. You don't want to talk about it. Well, this is now boring. Stands up. I'm good to go. Carouse. Gonna go talk to people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Introduce general stuff. Nobody in particular or anything.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you can kind of. Sabrina's done her acrobatics. Raven's still in the corner. He's sitting under one of the statues, who looks like they're holding a bow in their hands. There's other statues around. But yeah, there's people around. The Granite Breaker brothers are sitting at the table. Sabrina's joined them. There's all the nobles. There's just like people. Anyone in particular want to talk to, or you're just kind of out and about?
Just kind of out and about, I think.
Okay, cool.
Just
As you're out and about, go ahead and give me perception checks. If you're going to if you're moving around the room, go ahead and give me perception checks to see things you overhear.
14.
14. Okay, cool.
13.
13. All right. I will say, Mannequin, as you kind of are circling the room, making nice, little small talk, and hello, how are you? You overhear a couple of the people sitting at these tables, talking about, oh, Lord Nolan looks quite nervous. And they are talking about how they think that it might be because the Keeper of Tierna hasn't showed up, that he's delayed at the temple in the city, and he's replacing High Priest Cormac, who they only know him as oh, it's just so sad, he passed, sort of thing. They clearly they don't know a whole lot, but High Priest Cormac. And I will say, Dove, because you've been you have an ear for this already, that you overhear a little bit. You still don't catch the name because you got a 13, but you do overhear a few people chattering about it, of oh, I heard he died of a heart attack. I heard he died in his sleep. And one person is no, he was found in the hall. Terror all over his face. It's quite dramatic.
Oh, Dove is absolutely stop, look. Ooh. Listen.
Yeah. They found him in the dead of night. Clearly, the old man wasn't just up to the task. But no, something scared him to death. And people are
excellent
ooh,
storyteller.
ah. And that's it. They go back to talking whatever they were talking about. And yeah. I will also say, Mannequin, because you got slightly higher, you also hear the rumor. I'm just scrolling here and looking at. Well, I'm gonna just pick a person. You know what? I'm gonna roll for it. For who you hear a rumor about. You hear a rumor that Duke Uller, who is the man here, he is the brother of the king, has just recently returned from the Mingorn forest, where he's been hunting. So he's recently returned to the city.
Okay.
And the people are some of them are ooh, Duke Uller, he's a handsome man, older. He's the younger brother of the king, and seems like he is generally well liked among the people who are at this feast. And he's over there sitting, chatting with his bodyguard.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless there's anything else, Lord Nolan is clearly like starting to look and be like, and he has like come down from the dais here, and is like ushering people.
Yeah, I'll go back.
All right. Okay, we're going to do some performances. You are leading up for the king. Wait, like this is it. Sabrina did her thing. Raven's painting, whatever. And he like looks over his shoulder, and Raven's he's like painting. He does not look happy. He's just painting. There's like a few dancing lights, like kind of hovering around him, giving him some light, in the corner. The Grandbreaker brothers already did their thing. And he's like pointing to the statues around the room.
Oh, that was them.
That was them. And you know, oof, okay. Which one of you is going first?
I can.
Perfect. You don't have to follow up the birds. Awesome. And all right.
Maybe I should go last so that you don't, because it gets slippery sometimes afterwards. But
That seems
yes.
like a good idea.
Awesome. Yes. So where you like me to introduce people, I'm going to tap my glass, get their attention. Particular way you want that done.
I don't think it matters too much.
All right. I'll just introduce you all as the performers. That makes my job a whole lot easier. All right. And places.
Were you asking me as well? Because I have a title. Yes,
You
definitely.
have your title.
Dove, the Great.
Dove the
Let
Great.
her figure it out
I'll-
on her own.
Oh, yes, I'll let you say. You can say whatever you want when you're performing. And he's like quickly walking away from you, and like goes up to the table and is like saying something to the king and queen, or king and queens, before he raises a glass. The only glass I have right now. Ding ding ding. Ignore the bottle. It's clearly within reach. And everyone kind of starts quieting down. Voices kind of mutter, and he goes, "Thank you all for coming to the feast celebrating this wonderful marriage alliance. We have entertainment for you tonight. So please sit back, enjoy the performances." And he like gives a very elaborate bow, and then waves his arm towards Mannequin.
Mana will stand up from where she is sitting at the table and step up onto the table and cast light on her rapier.
Absolutely.
Stand before the crowd and say, "Well, we have a grand victory to celebrate." And then she will throw her sword high in the air, catch it, and say, "My name is Mannequin. Allow me to give you a demonstration." And then she will start on the table and then just do this really dramatic stage combat-esque, like lots of twirls and flips and swords thrown in the air, and it's continuously glowing with light. And it has did Preem provide her with any fabrics?
Yes, there would be all kinds of fabrics tied to the end of your swords, whatever was matching. I forgot to ask you what colors and stuff.
Probably like a reddish color. She would. I didn't specify in our conversation because I didn't know how much time to spend on it. But she would have requested something a lot more understated and elegant than what Bird did. Lots of like streamers from the swords, and she'd occasionally like catch it by the ropes and like swing it in a circle. And then like some kind of long billowy fabric with embroidery that like shifts as it moves.
What is it you're performing? Are you reenacting like the
No,
are you doing
it's just
something with the
kind
fight or
of-
anything?
No, it's just kind of like an acrobatic thing, just like following the movement and very, just in general, very dramatic looking. And occasionally it looks like she's stabbing an invisible opponent, but mostly it's just acrobatics.
Well,
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you looked like you were fighting something, DM, would you allow, or Ian, I don't want to get involved, but
No, go ahead.
if because Premood is all about like trying to make these other people look good, if it was clear like there's almost like a fight thing happening here, he would pull out one of his echoes like unravel, like basically across
Yeah.
the floor. This thread, you know, he points. This thread rolls out across the floor and pops up with this echo of like this creature kind of thing, holding like a fighting stance kind of thing. Whenever your sword goes towards it and would like kind of disintegrate it, or
the minute you do that, Mena immediately turns toward it with her sword pointing at it and starts to like parry blows and give this real dramatic performance there.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me a performance check with advantage.
oh yes.
Oh, I have to
Count
do
that
it
as the help
twice.
action.
Oh.
And 24. That's the first one. I don't know why it's
The
not
first
letting me
one.
do the toggle. Roll. There we go.
There we go.
29.
29. Yes, this is
Oh.
amazing. Like you start your sword dance, and like you're like it is going as smoothly as you expected it to, and then like you glance and see Priam move, and like you clock exactly what he's doing, and you immediately like lunge and go into it, and everyone's like oohing and eyeing, and like as you're swinging, like some people are ducking, and it looks. Prince Varen especially looks like he is overjoyed by this performance. He is like super into it. You would notice he's super into it. Duke Uller looks like mildly impressed. And Queen Thalia is like she's clapping, she's oohing, and Ariella is like watching. She's like, ooh, skill. She seems like very impressed. But not in the kind of loud way that Prince Varen is.
Excellent. Yes.
Yeah, it went.
Also, Bird, I think you would recognize this immediately.
Oh, we did some private rolls,
We
and
did.
basically, Bird is like sees her like stand up on like the table. She's like, oh god, what's this gonna be? And then like just looking, and then she starts, and like Bird's like whole posture kind of stiffens, and then like just unconsciously her mouth just like drops, and she's just staring, and then like at the end she like quickly like closes her mouth, and then she's just kind of like staring into the side and is just not looking towards the end. And
Yeah. Mana would move like along the whole like line of the tables and everything.
Absolutely.
And then come back to her seat, very pleased with herself.
Yes, you get applause, you get cheers, people are pounding on their tables, they're very impressed. And Lord Nolan is like, yes, thank you. And now, our last performer. And he looks at you. The bird.
No, Dove. It's
Dove.
it's Dove now. Sorry. Oh gosh.
Did you hear people going, birds? Birds?
She stands and like straightens herself out and yes, Dove is the name and birds are the game. All right, I will do my performance.
Absolutely.
And then a little bit like awkwardly starting off as she's like, seems like there's a lot of things she's got that like things are happening in my brain right now kind of thing. But she looks a little like, I don't know, if anyone is like able to pay attention, she's trying to hide it behind the performance smile, but she looks annoyed as heck. As she steps out into like the general area here to get like space. And she begins this like, it's a dance fight too. She didn't know that we were both doing dance fights. I sent her this information before the game, and we both planned dance fights. But I think that's perfectly thematic because she begins to like kind of like do like almost a choreographed form, and her like horde of birds that follows her kind of forms this like glob of birds that kind of dances in mirror with her as she kind of begins stepping. And she's kind of like each like swing of the glaive and step is like dancing to a beat that's not there. As she kind of swings and flips around, and she seems just a little bit shook as somebody just did a dance fight and now she's doing a dance fight, but this is the thing that she prepared for today, so she's gonna freaking do the dance. And then towards the end, she swings the glaive at the horde of birds, and it kind of splits off into two, and then forms a heart. And then the heart of birds flies towards the head table, where the king, queens, and prince and princesses are sitting. And there is a main bird in the center, which is like a small pigeon, flies down, and right in front of the princess drops a rose with a little like letter kind of wrapped around the end. And she just does a big old ta-da!
Yeah. The birds like circle, they do their thing. Good, roll me a performance check with advantage.
May
Okay.
Oh,
Oh no.
Yes, absolutely.
May I? Premac would try to stay back. What I'd love to do, if you would let me, this echo is still up. I would have it move up and behind, like up on the wall, behind everyone, with essentially so that the ability, so when the birds come flying towards everyone, that even if he had to switch places with it for a moment up in the air against the wall or something, the idea of just to throw out streamers or something like this so that they all kind of cascade down, so it's like coming from behind their view down in front of the tables as the birds are coming towards, kind of thing. All of these like lighter, these sparkling, shimmery streamers coming down.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank
Like
you, thank
snow
you.
or something.
Yeah. She's dressed in like the disco ball outfit, but then there's like flowers kind of all throughout it, so it's like kind of whatever the splash is. If it's really colorful, that would totally.
Floral disco. We love it.
Yes.
Okay.
Floral
Yeah, I am floral disco.
Right. That
I love
performance check
that.
with advantage.
Oh God! I rolled a 2 and a 6. That's 12.
Oh no!
It's-
She was thrown off from the beginning. Somebody already did a
Yeah.
dance fight. It's not cool anymore. Oh.
Okay, I will say the DC you needed to beat was not that hard, so it still
Okay.
works. It just, like, it's a little shaky at times. Like, the
She was
streamers
shaky.
pulled it off. You needed to beat a 10.
Oh God.
So, like, the birds at the beginning, like, clearly are sensing, like, just how frazzled you are, and, like, it took them a second to actually get into their glob, but then you found the knack of it and seemed to carry it through. No one really knew, like, that wasn't your best performance. Like, they're still very impressed. People are clapping. Like, Prince Varen is not as impressed. He's like, birds. The glaive is cool, but the birds. But Ariella, as the note, like, the pigeon drops the note, she, like, takes it and is, like, smiling at the birds. She thinks this is very cute. And will, like, open it up and read it and, like, just like, tuck it. And she, like, leans over to say something to her mom, who is like, this is very lovely. And her mother, like, gives you a smile. I'm gonna remove the birds from the map.
Yeah. I call them back to me, and they just somehow enter my form and are gone.
You have little bird pockets all over the outfit.
Yeah. I've got a cloak. They, like, I don't know, somehow fit in there.
Yeah, those birds gone. As the clapping kind of stops, a hush falls over the crowd as King Julian of Silvar rises to his feet after clapping very politely, and he looks around the room. Everyone quiets down just a little bit, and he raises his glass, and everyone else kind of, like, shuffles to get in there, and he goes, "Friends, we're here to celebrate a reunification of our two kingdoms. The first, many steps to uniting our lands once again. Not seen in nearly 2 centuries. Wedding of my son," and he, like, points to Varen, who's like, yeah, he's sloshed. He is absolutely sloshed. And the Princess of Lys, and Ariella just kind of nods. She's a lot more put together. Doesn't look like she's touched her wine. Will mark a new age of alliance against our foes who lurk in the shadows. As tradition demands, we will have 3 trials before the wedding day to honor strength, cunning, and agility. The first trial, our test of strength, will begin tomorrow morning. or we shall journey into the dreaded Mingorns to hunt the black boar of the wood. So, drink, eat, be merry, and tomorrow, be strong. And he, like, lifts his glass and drinks it, and everyone kind of claps, and he's like, yay! And everyone kind of, like, goes back into their mingling. A few people start, like, mulling about, and Mana Quinn. I just can't not say Mana Quinn as the full. You notice that Duke Uller is approaching your table. And he's like,
Okay. Just a small thing. Right after he finishes that, and Dove like walked over back to her chair and just plopped down really hard. He goes on his little like da, and now he's like something, be merry, and she's like, and you should be gone. But then he comes over before she can continue to looking at Mana.
ooh.
and then does Oler come over? Or
Yeah, then Duke Uller comes up.
Yeah,
He is,
Mana's like
very-
about to say something, and then
Oh yeah, he sees his opportunity to interrupt. He's tall, kind of like gaunt in the face, clearly like hasn't shaved in a little bit, which kind of makes sense if he's just come back. He's got like gray on the sides and some like sandy brown hair, dressed very, very finely. He's got a goblet in his hand. He goes, Mana Quinn, what a lovely performance.
Lord Oler, why thank you.
I see my reputation precedes me. That was quite the feat of swordsmanship.
Thank you, you flatter me.
I
What
would,
can I help you with?
Oh, I'm just here to make friends. I've been in court in a while, and so many new people. I would just like to maybe see if you'd like a wager.
A wager. I love a gamble. What are you thinking?
Well, my swordsman is quite adept at what he does. So, I thought maybe one of these trials might include a little bit of a show as well. Maybe you'd like to test your steel against his.
I'd be honored. What are the stakes, my lord?
Oh, I mean, it's a bit of fun for me. But, say,
Well-
is there anything you would like that this poor Duke could provide? He can't keep a straight face with that.
Sorry, Mana probably would know these too. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
My bad. That was my memory. Well, an entertainer always needs coin to live.
How about, I hear Nolan's giving you all quite the bonus, should you prove impressive. Which clearly you are, so I don't know that you need that much help there, but I could put a word in with the other royalty, my brother perhaps. Get you He kind of like looks at Dove and Premac. Well, let's just say I have sway.
I'll take your bet. That sounds quite fun.
Lovely.
Extend a hand.
Absolutely.
like,
He
Like
grabs
before
it.
he touches it, she like pauses, retracts the tabaxi claws, and then hands it back.
Yeah, he's grinning ear to ear. Premac, give me a perception check.
Hell yeah.
Before Dove's gonna say something
I
if he,
love
before he
making
leaves.
ill-informed bets.
Yeah.
16.
16. Yeah. He reaches out his hand and you notice there's a ring on his finger that is like there's calligraphy on it that says duty. But
Duty.
it's a ring. It's just
Yeah.
you gotta get your mind off it.
It's all coming
We're
together.
still stuck in the
It's all
trough of
coming
the
together.
Duty, not duty. Duty. And he takes her hand,
Sorry.
Mena, and shakes it, and he goes, "Well, hopefully we'll all make it to the third trial." And nods at you all, and like looks at you, Dove, and is like, I don't really want to make a bet with you. He doesn't say that, but he's just like,
So, are your swordsmen too afraid to fight a glaive wielder? Is that the problem, then?
I mean, if you'd like to enter the general melee when we do that, you're welcome to do it. Goose, was it?
Very funny.
It's the height of
I
comedy.
believe you. You've
Tip.
heard my... Sorry?
Oh, I just don't need props. And he likes pointing to your birds on your shoulder for comedy. Some of us have wit.
Aren't you making a wonderful impression, Duke, as I think you are, right? You're supposed to be...
I'm a duke, I don't need to make impressions.
Well, I didn't know about you, so I think that you should probably work on that. Otherwise, yes, I believe that it sounds like you might be a little worried about how your swordsman may fare against me, so I might as well join and see how things go.
You're welcome to try and fight my Mr. Finch.
Oh, it's Mr. Finch, and you're having trouble with Dove as my name. Wow, I think that's just a problem on your end, then.
Oh, yes. The bird puns. Lovely. Yes. Well, do enjoy collecting your little... Just like looking around at the birds and just like, It's like, sure, you can try your hand against Argo. I will enjoy watching him beat you into the mud. Yes, have a lovely evening. I'm going to go back to the more civilized. And he kind of looks at you, Premac, and like gives you a once over. It's like,
Does the exact same thing, up and down, looking at the clothes.
he is decked out. Like it's definitely not your work, but he looks nice. And he like says, "Oh, I hope you do find, what was it, leads in your investigation? I overheard
Leaks.
leaks.
Yes.
You're looking for leaks."
I was out on my plate. Yes.
Give me a deception check.
With my like -2 charisma. Whatever it is.
Oh.
14.
Huh?
Yep.
He looks at you and goes, "Yes, I'm sure you eat a lot of vegetables. You're kind and kind of..."
Green complexion.
"Is that what it is? Well, I'll be sure you get your fill of broccoli and leeks and green nonsense. Have a good evening." He goes back off to his table.
Dove immediately leans back,
As soon as-
whispers to one of her birds, and
wait.
tells it to shit on his plate.
Animal handling check.
As soon
I
as
need to
he
get-
leaves, Mana kind of side-eyes Dove and goes, "Making friends as always, I see, Birdie."
And you. Just stealing other people's things, just like you usually do. That performance.
Where is you dumbass? I don't know. I've literally never not done this. What are you talking about?
Well, neat. I have the exact same... We did the exact same performance. Of course, we're going to have the same... Why did you... If you knew that I was...
And a glaive.
Yes, and what else am I supposed to do with the birds and the glaive than dance fight? It's the obvious conclusion.
Well, you should have gone first, Birdie.
Stop it!
Early
Stop
bird
it!
gets the worm.
Both of you
Oh.
see Raven is like marching up to your table, and he's like, "You're ruining the scene. Smiles on your faces."
I am still smiling. She's like eye twitching, like I am smiling.
I am a cat, Erin.
Yes, and you look.
Do you want me to
look very
snarl for
bristled.
you?
There's fur. Just look. Just settle. I don't have that much more time. Finalizing this is my only thing to do until I can get out of this fucking party. He like looks not happy about any of this, and he's like, "Just it's fine. And he like reaches over and like grabs some of the food off of your table and is like, I'm taking this. It's mine now. Good night. He's just like clearly upset that you were ruining like his beautiful portrait that he was making as you were like
Tense
fighting.
argument.
Tense argument that he was like, you weren't sitting where you're supposed to.
When Mana goes like a cat, it's just like a copycat more like. There's just like a lot of like little comments and bickering. Still.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Primak's very confused.
He's probably sweating a lot more now.
A lot more sweat. Social awkwardness.
You know, give me a second. Curious to see how bad it is.
Are you rolling a saving throw for sweat?
This is a thing now for him. This is new.
Is it Constitution?
Yeah, I'm gonna do con save.
Sweat.
I'm gonna do
Con save for me.
Yeah.
13.
It's a little bit of sweat, but it's not that much.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. You're starting to sweat. Like, you can feel it start.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know what, Primak? Why don't you were talking about maybe how I would sit better near the table. Maybe we will just move all down one. How about I sit in your spot, Mana can sit where I was sitting, and we're just gonna fuck up Araven's picture just a whole bunch and switch seats.
I was like,
Yeah.
I've got my seat here, thank you. Got my food, got my drink.
Primak has gotten up to move. He's waiting.
Such a bad attitude.
Raven is like staring you down.
Mana she just like smooths her hair and gives him like a very lovely smile, like perfect portrait, as they're like shuffling around her.
Well, yeah, like Dove stood up and she like was getting ready to move, and then you didn't move, and then she's already standing, so it's like I gotta move now. So she switches spots and sits down.
Raven just goes back to
There's
the table, like,
clearly something going on here. Perhaps we should sort this out later after this.
Yes, I think that
event.
seems like a great idea, Birdie.
Oh well,
Just leave it until after the dinner is done. Don't you
Her
want some
version-
delicious meat?
their version of doing things is just to leave and hope the problem solves itself.
Right.
Can't argue
Stab.
with what works.
You guys all
Eating.
notice that people are starting to like filter out. It's getting a lot quieter. It doesn't seem like there's an official end. The Queen of Leaves has like departed. Ariella, like one of the people who is sitting over at this table, goes and collects Ariella, and she like bows. She like says something to Varen, who is like, "Hi," and he's like stumbling off with a group of his noble friends, and people are like
Before he
slowly filtering
goes,
out. Yeah.
I would actually like to go and because he seems so interested in my performance, I would actually like to go.
Yeah, he's like
And-
stumbling on past you, so like you can absolutely go and chat with him.
Prince Farron!
Your Queen!
Yes,
Swords!
that's
So good! Hello.
You. I'm so glad you enjoyed the performance.
It was wonderful. True feat. Strength.
Are you alright?
I'm engaged.
You are
Married.
indeed. Very exciting.
So many chances for glory, you see. Fought that hag.
And you did. You
Very-
fought her valiantly.
Yes. Kill her. It's great. And like some of the nobles are like, yes, you clearly killed her. All you, my man. He like puts his hand on your shoulder. He's like a little shorter than you, so he like has to reach.
It's like a Rachel.
Yeah. And he's like petting your shoulder a little bit. He goes, "You would make a fine knight. Should
Why,
join
thank
me in
you,
the hunt.
Prince.
Should join me. It would be great.
I would be honored.
You should earn glory in my name. It will be
If that one is going, I am as well. I'm also going on the hunt.
He like looks at you and he goes, I'm allergic. to...
He's allergic to her, but not the cat person.
I like cats.
I can tell them to stay away from you, but you will need my glaive.
I'm not sure about the birds. Okay.
They will be coming. Yes.
Oh, fine.
Yes.
See me in the morning, you two, and we will go and fucking kill a boar. Get married.
Sounds like a delight.
He's just like stumbling off with his friends. As you like are clearly coming off of that, the princess and her sworn shield are also going to come over to you guys.
I will greet her as well.
Yeah.
Princess.
She like looks off towards where Varen stumbled, and she's like, "Good. Just want to say, lovely performance. It's very impressive."
Thank
and
you.
she's both, and she like looks at you, Dove, and is like, "I very much appreciated everything. Very nice.
Yes.
You all seem," and she like even looks at you, Premac. It's like, you all seem very capable. Just love it if you joined me on the hunt as well. Or we're splitting up. It's a whole thing. But yes, it's glory to whichever side gets the boar. Coming into this marriage, I'd like to have a little step up. I could.
I'm going to lean in conspiratorially to her. Do you think he's going to remember anything from this evening?
She looks at you and just smiles. And she's like, I think he's going to remember that he had fun. That's about the nicest thing I can say. Yes, probably not. Probably not. So if you could take that as a forget his offer and come join me, I wouldn't mind any of that. I feeling a little alone in this place.
Princess, I would be honored.
Thank you. Lovely. Both of you as well, and she gestures to you, Dove, and Premac. Have a wide variety of skills, seems very entertaining, very skilled, and I'm not exactly sure what we're supposed to do in this hunt, but we'll find out. Just always happy to have more friends. She kind of like nods at you, clearly is like not sure how to extract herself from this.
You are much more appreciative of my skills and obviously witnessing it and commenting on it. I will definitely go with you. We will see you in the morning.
Wonderful.
I'm glad you enjoyed the performance.
Lovely.
I'm going to need a bath.
She just looks at you and is like,
He's like that. Don't worry about it. He's very talented.
You know, actually, that is a good point. When you go hunting, you need to make sure you wash off all of your human scent. The animals will get scared away.
Looks at all three of you when you say human scent.
Well, isn't she? Wait, isn't she a human? Yeah, you're a human scent.
As far as you know, she's human. As far as you know, she's human. But she looks at the tabaxi, the half orc, and the dragonborn, and she's like, "Yes, wash off the human scent." Yeah.
Yes, the animals will be scared away.
Oh, okay. I'll have my servants bring a tub on the hunt for you, sir. And
he's got a trough in the room. It's all right. I think
she's
we'll
not
bring
wrong.
We'll bring a trough for you to bathe regularly, preferably. Thank you. She's just like backing up, getting out of this. And the feast is kind of generally ending, and you can all go back to quarters for the evening. Is there anything else you'd like to do in this evening before we start? We're not ending just yet.
Okay.
But when you get back from the feast, is there anything you'd like to do?
Oh, well, I think Dove has to confront Mana Quinn about
I'm ready for this. Yes. Mm-hmm.
everything. Okay. I probably waiting until we get to like the this like quarters here, and then just do you go straight to your room and inside, or are you kind of like idling about?
Nana's keeping an eye on Dove and what Dove is
Okay.
doing.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, Dove kind of just stomps right over.
Mhm.
Pretty blunt.
Good.
Can I help you, Birdie?
Pronouns that you're going by right now?
She, her.
All right. Bitch.
I'm a cat.
What are you doing here? Why are you here? I am
I'm here
trying
for
to.
the wedding. I'm here to perform.
This is my place. This is where I'm doing my network. I'm showing off my new look, my new name. Well, I've been working anyway.
What do you think I'm doing? Look
Oh,
at
just-
me.
That is your thing. You just keep flipping around and trying new things all the time. This is the first time I've rebranded. This is like, what is this? Like the
You're
37th?
doing a real bang-up job of it.
I don't have as much experience as you do, fucking up and needing to start over again.
You could at least remember your own name. Your new name. Dove?
It's Dove. It's Dove. Think for instance.
You hesitated there.
There's another bird that I was considering. Whatever.
Well,
That's not what we're talking about. You're here. It's a
Yeah.
problem.
I'm here. You're here and it's a problem.
I got here before you did. No, wait. That was.
got
You were.
here
That was the manager. Was you the whole time? Wow.
It's all coming together. You hear shouted from the table.
From like the bath in his room. Okay.
Primek, give me a perception check, just quick.
All these perception checks. Good in
It's like there's things
investigation.
happening in the background.
Oh, 15. I've been
Ooh.
lucky.
Cool. Yeah. A thing's happening. I don't need to interrupt the literal
reunion.
cat fight. Literal cat fight that's happening.
Why are you rebranding anyways, Birdie? Did something happen?
I think you know. After you left, I tried to do my performance on my own, but surprisingly, it's very hard to do a two-person duo performance when you only have one
Well, why
person.
would you even try to do that?
Why? What do you mean? Why would I? I need to make money.
Yeah, but like, I just made a new performance.
I have a thing that I'm good at, and I wanted to do that thing. It's hard to think of a new choreographed thing every time. Usually we worked on those anyway. Are the horses okay?
The horses? Oh, they're dead.
Yes. What?
I'm kidding. They're fine.
Oh, God. Does Peregrine still talk about me?
I can't talk to him. And besides,
Oh.
he was getting old, so I sold him up. He's now living. I sold him to a really nice old man. He lives in luxury on grass fields and occasionally has to go into town for groceries.
No, absolutely not. That is what people say when they get rid. That is not going off to the farm is a thing that people say. I grew up with that
Fine.
horse.
Do you want me to give you the fucking address?
Yes.
I'll give you the address. Give me something to write on.
Stomp. Grab one of those books and rip a page out. Come back.
Which
Give
book?
it to you.
Which bookshelf are you going to?
I don't remember. There was like something about Ravensburger or something. I'll take that one.
You're gonna go to
The-
this one or this one?
Yeah, like the dirty novel place. Just this is closer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Primek, I'm assuming you're seeing.
Yeah. So at some point amongst this horse thing, Premac, who has been actually sitting at a table in the middle of the room, kind of starts sniffing, gets up and kind of starts looking around, and he's like, he turns to you, forget the horse. And as you go stomping off to go get your book, he's like,
Yeah.
there's something in this room. Reminds me of the hag.
I can see her right there.
Premac, you, as they're shouting at each other and clearly not paying any attention to you, you turn and see in the corner one of those oozy boys. You remember that one of them had disappeared. He is just standing there. He's not fighting anything. He's just kind of standing there sliming. And he makes eye contact with you, Priam. And he looks at the door that you guys had come in from, and he just points.
Points to the door that we came in from, like the hallway?
Yeah.
Like he wants us to open the door for him or something?
No. He in Sylvan, if you speak Sylvan, hear him say, trouble.
Wait.
Trouble.
Do I see this? Do I hear this?
Yeah, you would hear him say, you hear this weird little voice, and you immediately whip around and you see this little ooze boy with these big eyes and a big head. Trouble. He's pointing at the door.
For us?
Is Timmy in the well? What's going?
And as you start
that door,
addressing him, he just disappears, like he did before. But I will
step up to the door and press my ear to it and see if I can hear anything on the other side.
As you step up to this door, and you hear, you're listening in, and you're a little thrown because you had this argument. There's a lot of shouting. You're still coming down from all of that, and you end up just kind of noticing that there is a crash. There's something broke down the hall, and you're hearing a lot of scuffling, and then you end up hearing a scream.
Open the door.
I'm gonna, I'll crack open the door and peer out into the hallway.
I'm over.
Absolutely. You open up that hallway and you see down this hall.
Loading.
That
mine was loading, but the stream wasn't. I was wait, what?
Oh, sorry. Things are happening. You see down this hall. It's a little dimmer. It is nighttime. Does not look like it is a great time right now. There is a slumped figure in the middle of the floor, and some a broken table, and seems like a statue had fallen and shattered, and standing over this broken man on the ground is a large hound. Its limbs are a little too long and bowed, and it is sort of covered in fur, but there's patches of skin. And you just opened the door, right? You just flung it open.
I just peer out of it, so
okay.
I just
Give me a
crack it
stealth
open. Okay.
Stealth.
Ooh, 21.
21.
Wait,
with a
survival.
21, you open it, and it doesn't see you, but as it turns, it's starting to look down this hall where you're hearing more shuffling.
Where are we looking out from?
You are looking out from this direction.
Okay.
This way. There are two hallways going off this way, and then there's a bunch of halls. You can't see some of them, but you're looking down from this hall.
I'm gonna snap the door shut and look at Bird and Preem and go, "Big dog out there, big monster. We should go." And then I'm gonna fling open the door and run at it.
Yeah, I just
Absolutely.
pull my glaive and start running behind her.
Yeah,
Fling
draw
open
my
the
rapier.
door. You start running, and this hound turns and looks at you, and its face is almost too human. Like, it's got human eyes and like a flat face, but its mouth is like way too big. It's like if someone ripped the jaw off and then just sort of like mushed it back together. It's like full of these sharp teeth. And as soon as you fling that door open and start moving, it gets up on its haunches and it screams. It doesn't howl, it doesn't yell. It's like a person screaming. And that's what you had heard. And you, as you're like starting to run, you hear other noises from down the hall. And that's where we're going to end today.
Oh,
Very good, very good.
That's
Yeah.
creepy.
Nice.
The last thing, as they start running, Premac turns back to where that boy, what'd you call it? The
Oozy boy.
Oozy boy, to where the Oozy boy is before he runs, and he just gestures with his tail, pointing vaguely in the air, says, "We need to talk," and then turns and runs after them.
Absolutely. We need to talk. Perfect.
Oh man.
Nice job. I'm
Is
enjoying
there-
your maps.
Yes, our maps
Yeah.
are also good.
I'm so proud of my maps. We're not sponsored, but I'm gonna plug Dungeon Draft. They're great. You pay a little money, you can make all these maps with some fun assets and some packs. That's what I've been using for all of these maps that you've seen so far in these 2 episodes. But yeah, some drama, some rumors, some infighting,
Love it.
and
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
Literal cat fight.
literal.
Yeah.
Literal cat fight.
We love it.
Did I have?
That was.
Oh.
Achoo! Pardon me.
Ooh,
That was really good.
Good.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us on episode 2, Cordially Invited. We will be back not next Wednesday, Wednesday after, because we're doing bi-weekly. So we will see you September 8th. Same
Right on.
time, same channel, right here on YouTube. So yeah. Don't
We,
forget your poop rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She bring
We
it.
would
Or your duty ring.
Or your duty
love,
ring.
love some episode suggestions if you have
We-
any.
We got an episode
We got
suggestion
one.
in the chat.
It's on screen at
Yeah.
the moment. Thank you, Josh. So yeah, we're always looking for episode names. So we'll rename these YouTube videos once they're up permanently as VODs. So if you have suggestions for them, feel free to leave them in the YouTube chat or throw them at our at our Twitch, or join us on Discord. In the description of this video will be the Discord link. We would love it if you joined us over there. There will be a spot where we will start having suggestions for episode titles. Yeah, please come and join us on Discord. All the other shows that are on our Dice Cult YouTube and Twitch, different nights of the week. There's lots of different channels there to interact with the people who are playing those games. We'd love it if you came and joined us. I think that's
Yeah.
it from me.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for
Yeah.
watching.
Thanks
Come
for
hang
coming.
with us any of these days of the week that Dice Call is streaming.
We just really love hanging out with you. It's just so nice to see you again.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in such a long time.
Jackie, give us some music to end on. And
Okay. I random shuffle music because that might happen.
all right,
That might
do it.
happen. Let's go with my random D&D music. There we go.
Perfect.
Thank you, Kevin McLeod, for all the,
And,
and Michael Gelfi and Vincent for all this music.
Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, bye.
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 Bye.